What are the two structures that contain all the nerves within the central nervous system? Brain and spinal cord. What division of the nervous system includes all nerves located outside the brain and spinal cord? Peripheral nervous system. What are the two subsystems into which the peripheral nervous system is generally divided? Somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. The somatic nervous system governs conscious movement, such as the movement of skeletal muscle. The autonomic nervous system controls unconscious, or automatic, functions such as heart rate and peristalsis. Vasodilation is controlled by the blank, autonomic/somatic, nervous system, which is a subdivision of the blank, central/peripheral, nervous system. Autonomic. Peripheral. Since vasodilation is performed unconsciously, it is governed by the autonomic nervous system. Contraction of the biceps muscle when lifting weights is controlled by the blank, autonomic/somatic, nervous system, which is a subdivision of the blank, central/peripheral, nervous system. Somatic, peripheral. This statement describes a conscious function, so it is governed by the somatic nervous system. The official name for the fight-or-flight division of the nervous system is the blank nervous system. Sympathetic. It is activated when the individual is stressed or in acute danger. Epinephrine is released to cause an increase in heart rate. What is the official name of the rest and digest division of the nervous system? Parasympathetic nervous system. This branch of the nervous system is active when the individual is not in danger, that is, when he or she is resting, eating, and relaxing. What branch of the autonomic nervous system inhibits peristalsis when activated? Sympathetic nervous system. What branch of the autonomic nervous system is associated with increased secretion of saliva? Parasympathetic nervous system. What branch of the autonomic nervous system is associated with an increase in blood glucose levels? Sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic activation results in the release of epinephrine, which increases blood glucose level by stimulating the breakdown of glycogen and subsequent release of glucose from the liver. What branch of the autonomic nervous system is activated when pupils dilate? Sympathetic nervous system. Pupil dilation is a result of sympathetic, fight-or-flight, activation. What branch of the autonomic nervous system is associated with decreased blood flow to skeletal muscles? Parasympathetic nervous system. Overall, parasympathetic activation results in decreased blood flow to muscles and increased blood flow to the digestive system. Where do reflex arcs typically synapse, allowing them to bypass involvement of which structure? Brain. Reflex arcs typically do not require input from the brain. It is crucial that reflexes occur quickly, sending information to and from the brain would be too time-consuming. Name the 3 types of nerve cells, neurons, in the human nervous system. Motor neurons. Sensory neurons. Interneurons. Describe the general function of sensory neurons. They transmit sensory information, both external and internal, from the periphery of the body to the central nervous system. Describe the general function of motor neurons. They transmit signals from the central nervous system to the periphery of the body, specifically, to targets such as muscles and glands. Motor neurons provide the neural impulses that tell our muscles to contract, allowing movement. Name the type of neuron that is commonly found between a sensory neuron and a motor neuron in a reflex arc. Interneuron. Interneurons are the third type of neurons in the nervous system, with the other two being motor and sensory neurons. Interneurons are always located between other neurons. A gap between neurons into which neurotransmitter molecules are released is termed a blank. Synapse. Interestingly, neurons do not directly contact each other. Instead, they are separated by small gaps termed synapses. How many neurons are involved in a monosynaptic reflex arc, and what types of neurons are they? Two neurons are involved in a monosynaptic reflex arc: sensory neuron, motor neuron. Monosynaptic means one synapse. A synapse is a gap between neurons, so this reflex arc must involve two neurons. How many neurons are involved in a disynaptic reflex arc, and what types of neurons are they? Three neurons are involved in a disynaptic reflex arc: sensory neuron, motor neuron, interneuron. Disynaptic means two synapses. To have two synapses, gaps between neurons, this reflex arc must involve three neurons. Due to the direction in which they transmit information, from the periphery toward the brain, sensory neurons are also termed blank neurons. Afferent. In general, afferent refers to movement or transmission toward a point of reference. True or false, a neuron that transmits impulses from the spinal cord toward skeletal muscle fibers is an afferent neuron. False. This statement describes a motor neuron. Motor neurons transmit impulses away from the central nervous system, here, the spinal cord, and are thus termed efferent, not afferent, neurons. What molecules are responsible for communication between neurons and the propagation of nerve signals throughout the body? Neurotransmitters. True or false, GABA, serotonin, and epinephrine are inhibitory neurotransmitters. False. This statement is false because epinephrine is not inhibitory. Excitatory neurotransmitters include acetylcholine and epinephrine, while inhibitory neurotransmitters include dopamine, GABA, and serotonin. What neurotransmitter is strongly associated with feelings of euphoria and happiness and often contributes to addiction to recreational drugs? Serotonin. While both serotonin and dopamine are associated with feelings of euphoria, only serotonin is a treatment target for depression via selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Blank neurons synthesize dopamine, while blank receptors are stimulated by nicotine. Dopaminergic, nicotinergic. Defective dopaminergic neurons can cause impaired motor movements, loss of feelings, changes in mood, and impaired memory. List the 7 primary neurotransmitters or neurotransmitter types used in the body. Gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA. Acetylcholine. Epinephrine. Norepinephrine. Serotonin. Dopamine. Endorphins. The main inhibitory neurotransmitter in the adult human brain is blank. Gamma-aminobutyric acid. GABA. What neurotransmitter is involved in the reward pathway that plays a crucial role in drug addiction? Dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter most classically associated with pleasure. It plays an important role in drug addiction via the brain's reward pathway. In patients with Parkinson's disease, dopaminergic neurons in a brain region termed the substantia nigra degenerate. Subscribe to learn more. How many did you get correct?